despite all the pressure, a beacon of hope and cooperation among nations. Our founding charter is a powerful instrument of international law, binding us to the principles and ideals that are as relevant today as they were 8 decades ago. With 193 members, and despite daunting challenges at the global, regional, and national levels, the UN's commitments to maintaining international peace and security, promoting human well-being, and fostering global cooperation is reflected in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the universally adopted Sustainable Development Goals. Most recently, and it was mentioned earlier, these commitments were reaffirmed in the adoption on the 22nd of September this year of the Pact for the Future during the Summit of the Future, and I'll come back to it in a minute. Over the years, the UN has continuously evolved to address the needs of a changing world. From providing humanitarian assistance to protecting human rights to upholding international law, our work remains as critical now as it has been, and even more critical today. We are pursuing the ambitious 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals, striving for a more just, sustainable future for all, striving for advancing equal rights for men and women, and for fully committing to effective climate action, recognizing the urgent need to limit global warming and safeguard our planet for the future generations. As we have just heard from esteemed speakers before me, Malaysia, a proud member of the UN since 1957, has made significant contributions to our collective efforts. From peacekeeping missions to promoting sustainable development initiatives, Malaysia's engagement with the UN reflects its steadfast commitment to the principles of the organization. The country's engagement in global and regional processes and critical conversations on pressing issues has ensured Malaysia's role as a champion of multilateralism and international and regional cooperation. Thank you, Malaysia, for that. For over 65 years, the United Nations Development System has been a steadfast partner to Malaysia. I was just reading on my way here that UNICEF has been here for 70 years, working hand in hand with the government and the people to support the country's impressive journey since independence. In the past decade, our cooperation has been framed by the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development adopted in 2015 as a universal roadmap to advance economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability through a rights-based approach where no one is left behind. The Malaysia UN country team, comprising 21 agencies, funds, and programs, is guided by the first UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, has been instrumental in addressing complex development challenges. We have provided policy advice and technical assistance in areas such as social protection, education, health, environmental sustainability, and governance in line with the international standards and principles. We have dedicated special attention to the pledge to leave no one behind, including through programs on poverty eradication, social protection, women's empowerment, spatial inequalities, and the protection of the most vulnerable among us, including the undocumented, the stateless persons, migrant workers, refugees, children, people with disabilities, and indigenous populations. In line with the Malaysia Madani vision, we have worked alongside the government and other development actors, including civil society, academia, the private sector, the media, and various other communities and groups supporting Malaysia's development agenda with a focus on the most complex last-mile development issues, typical of a country transitioning from upper middle income to high income status. The UN support in this area aligns closely with Malaysia's vision for a sustainable and inclusive future, and my job is to ensure that our work remains relevant, coherent, and impactful. As a convener, the Resident Coordinator's Office is prioritizing meaningful and inclusive participation and coordinates the UN agencies, funds, and programs, engagement with a broad and diverse range of stakeholders as we develop our new cooperation framework for the period from 26 to 30, in line with Economy Madani and the 13th Malaysia Plan. In 2023, and with the support of the Ministry of Finance, we established the Malaysia UN SDG Trust Fund, a pioneer initiative of Yayasan My SDG, the Government of Malaysia, and the UN. This multi-donor fund is open to contributions from the private sector, the international community, and others, and supports high-impact SDG acceleration projects, specifically aimed at improving the lives of communities and individuals left furthest behind. The fund exemplifies our commitment to innovative solutions and partnerships that drive progress towards SDGs. The second call for proposals is now open, and we welcome proposals for new projects and innovations by both UN organizations and non-UN entities. Globally now, and mentioning the Summit of the Future, which was a pivotal global gathering during the UN General Assembly high-level week. And I will stop here and go a bit off my speech to just say it has become so difficult and so challenging for member states, 193 member states, to agree on anything at the UN. It is a challenge. Yet, we saw with the Summit of the Future and with the Pact of the Future that agreement is still possible. The Pact was adopted by consensus, not by vote, meaning that 193 countries actually agreed on what comes in the Pact. And the Pact is very ambitious. I believe there will be a panel discussing some of the elements of the Pact. And when you read through it, it is very sobering to see how, despite everything that is going around in the world, despite the challenges that multilateralism is facing today, we still can agree to a pact this strong. And I'm very actually excited to use this pact as our now roadmap to accelerate SDGs, but also to talk about peace and security in a different way with more accountability. I'll go back to my script. But this actually could have been part of my script. At extremely challenging times, consensus was reached on key transformative initiatives to reshape global governance and foster international solidarity. The resulting Pact of the Future is a landmark UN resolution that reaffirms our collective commitment to a safer, more peaceful, sustainable and inclusive world. It's a powerful, renewed commitment among nations to work collectively, and this is the important part, working together. The Pact emphasizes that we must leave no one behind, tackling the root causes of global challenges and fostering an inclusive global community. The Pact has two annexes, and they're as important as the main text. One is the Global Digital Compact, and the other one is the Declaration on Future Generations. So this package, the Pact, the Declaration, and the Global Digital Compact, address a broad range of issues, including peace and security, sustainable development, climate change, digital cooperation, human rights, gender equality, and youth empowerment. It's a comprehensive and forward-looking framework that will guide our efforts as we strive to achieve this SDGs by 2030. In the area of peace and security, and it was mentioned by the Deputy Minister, the Pact serves as a reminder of what the UN stands for and what it will take to stay relevant in this century and millennium. The fifth chapter of the Pact includes the most progressive vision of global governance ever, including the reform of the international financial institutions, and it's also including the reform of the Security Council, aiming to enhance effectiveness, inclusivity, and representativity. And this is not just words. There are processes currently at the UN that are looking at more representation of Africa, of Asia, as part of the membership, the permanent membership of the Security Council. We also have actions in the Pact about nuclear disarmament and the prevention of an arms race in outer space. The Declaration on Future Generation is also a bold commitment to safeguard the rights and well-being of those that haven't been born yet, the generations to come. The Global Digital Compact provides us with an entry point for the first time to actually think of guardrails to technological progress and the international regulation of artificial intelligence, among others. It will ensure that digital technologies contribute to sustainable development and human rights, while also reducing inequalities and bridging the digital divide. So the pact is a call to action to everyone. It highlights roles and responsibilities and provides means of implementation and accountability. Everyone, and youth in particular, will play a key role in translating the 56 actions of the pact with all the other actions under the 2 annexes to have positive outcomes for the people that we serve. Every action matters, every voice counts. And the UN in Malaysia, we pledge to pursue our mission and engage with all stakeholders. As Malaysia embraces its leadership of ASEAN in 2025, we renew our commitment to spare no effort to bring the best in us and among us to support its ambitious agenda. The UN Association in Malaysia is a partner and important advocate of the values that we all uphold. We count on your support as you federate voices from all parts of Malaysia and broaden your reach. We also stand ready to support your efforts to promote a discourse of tolerance based on knowledge and sound information. We fully acknowledge that the UN faces unprecedented challenges. Geopolitical tensions and conflicts around the world threaten international peace and security and put the UN to the test every day. The ongoing climate crisis and the too slow response for urgent action and for difficult collective decisions put pressure on us. Human rights, international law, international humanitarian law are hanging by a thread. We firmly believe, though, that the UN has the ability and capacity to live up to the challenges that we face. So in closing, let me renew my heartfelt appreciation for making us part of this discussion today. My thanks go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to IDFR, Ministry of Defense, and to Unam for co-organizing this important forum and for bringing us together to commemorate UN Day. It is through our collective efforts anchored in the UN Charter that we can navigate adversity and strive towards more peaceful and prosperous world, leveraging strengths, voices, and resources to build a better future for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Karima, for that insightful presentation on the UN's vital role in Malaysia's development journey. On behalf of the President of Unam and the committee, your commitment to be with us today is highly appreciated. We hope that you enjoy your trip in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would like to invite His Excellency Tan Sri Hamidon Ali, former Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Malaysia to the United Nations, to take the floor.
Very much, saudara ya, dan terima kasih kepada Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad. I always call him Putra because we are all colleagues or friends from those days in Melbourne. He was sponsors to go. He went, he's smarter. He went to Melbourne University. I'm less smart. I go to Monash University. They call it Monash University for the working people. He's an aristocrat. So we are at the age where it's all as the UN itself. That's why when I climb up the steps, I'm going to be very careful. If you lose one of it, or you miss one of it, you're in trouble. So Topa. Yeah, already went with Putra. I was the best man for his wedding. The reception is just here. Dewan Master the Putra in the old days, huh? Remember that? I remember Putra and wife Kamasan. So we went a long way, as long as all as the UN itself. Thank you very much for inviting me. I was asked whether I had a prepared text. I said no, I'll just ramble on. I've got 15 minutes or so, whatever it is. Now, the topic given to me is quite interesting. So let me share with you my perspective on the whole thing. The issue of the UN, I'm glad that Ms. Karima has an outline all those things, the gamut of things. It's a mouthful of things that I think if you were to swallow it, you get choked. Because there are too many things that goes around that need to be looked at. But I should focus on critical issues, and the main important thing is the reform of the UN itself, and in particular the UN Security Council, UNSC for short. The world needs to be at peace, the world needs to be secure, and it's a task of the UN Security Council to ensure that. Okay, by and large, I think we are much safer than what we were before 79 years ago after the war. But the only problem with the UNSC is that it is the least democratic institution in the UN system. We have the victors of the Second World War give themselves the right to rule all over us, and they all will withdraw powers. Many efforts have been done to try to reform the UN Security Council, and it's been going on for decades. But still, we don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. It's simply because what is given as a right to the 5 or the P5 is still very difficult to take back. And they rule the world with a veto power. The world has changed quite a bit, but this particular body has not changed. It still behaves the way it was before. So we talk about reform. I think the Deputy Foreign Minister, Muhammad Alamin, had mentioned about this too, and also our Foreign Minister himself mentioned about the need to have something like a qualified veto in the UN Security Council, which is can be done, but it's very difficult, as I said, for the P5 to accept, because that limits their say in world affairs. So qualified voting, 2 P5 or 3, whatever it is, plus 2 or 3 non-permanent members to pass a resolution. This is no go. But then again, there's other examples to look at bringing, I think Ms. Kareba mentioned, bringing additional members, members to the Security Council. There was talk about expanding the UNSC from 15 to 25. We had 10 more, bringing countries in Asia, in Africa and Latin America that are least represented. In Asia, we're talking about trying to bring, for example, Japan and India. And in Africa, would be South Africa and so on, and Egypt. And then also in Latin America, because Latin America doesn't have permanent representation in the UNSC. But all this was stymied by, not by the P5, it's by us, the non-P5, because we are at loggerheads. Because if you were talking about expanding or bringing India, then Pakistani will object. You're going to bring by Japan, Korea will object. So, similarly in Latin America, we're talking about bringing Brazil, a lot of in Latin America, Argentina and so on, so to object. In Europe, we're bringing Germany and Spain, for example, and there will be objection by Italy. So all this thing, in fact, tie us up. So there's no way we can go. The so-called Uniting for Consensus group, they're talking about it for years and years and years, and there's no consensus. The consensus is nil. So there we are. And the world revolves, because the world cannot go on dealing with this thing. And so for me, as practitioner and ambassador, the thing is that the UN has not just peace and security. Peace and security is important for economic development. And I see the UN as epitome of development, because you provided the main resources and so on and so forth for countries like us in Malaysia so on to develop. So the various agencies under the UN, whatever you call it, UNCTAD, and what's called that, UNICEF, or whatever you mean, UNICEF. These are all entities that have helped us in the process of development. So we are happy with that notion, and our role is there to help these agencies to help ourselves, meaning we contribute our fair share of resources wherever we can. I think here talking about peacekeeping, for example, is PKO. It's one of the cherished example of what we small country can do to help the others around us. So on economic development, of course, we have other things, yeah. But we found that I should touch also on the institution of human rights. I think my colleague from Wisma, Putra, Jalan used to be with me in New York for many years, narrating that particular test on human rights. Human rights is sacrosanct to everybody, to us, to every one of us. So I'm glad to see that we have, in fact, bring together this whole human rights issue under one council called Human Rights Council. But then again, I ask myself, how much has Human Rights Council really done on human rights? The issue really haven't been answered, because human rights depend on all of it. But if you are in the Human Rights Council, you are not fighting for human rights, then there's something wrong with you. And that's what happened in that council. It's changed the name, it's old wine in new bottle, but it's still the same. It used to be a Commission for Human Rights, but it's still the same. Of course, under human rights, we have rights for women. I think women are important. 50% of the world population are more than women. I think there are more women than men. And their rights are not equally respected. And this is important for all of us. Even in Malaysia, I think we have done a lot, but still a lot more can be done to ensure rights of women are well respected, and that they have an important place and role in our development. Then we have also the question of what we have done on peace and security, which are all this armament and all that. But those are things which we cherish, and in Malaysia particularly, because we are one of the champions for nuclear weapon prevention. This is critical because we see around us, if you have means to develop that kind of weapon, nobody can push us around, nobody can bully us around. So we have people like a country like DPRK, Democratic Republic, People's Republic of Korea, we have Iran, for example, developing their capacity, because they want not necessarily to attack other people, they want to protect themselves against other countries that have that capability. So this will go on, because this armament is for everybody, and we are part of the cost. But the way things are going, I think more countries are going to arm themselves. It's simply because they look at what if you do not arm yourself, you are cannon fodder. You can be pushed around, and this is not very healthy for all of us. But as Ms. Karima said, here we are in Southeast Asia, we managed quite well with ASEAN and so on and so forth. We have managed to have a zone of peace, freedom and neutrality, and we have managed to engage China in the South China Sea. These are important facets of our role. The other aspect I want to touch is, of course, as mentioned by Ms. Karima, the fact that the result of the summit in the future, this again has been rehashed, because I am not too keen about this idea of repackaging things, putting, as I said, a new one in old bottles. This is the same thing. We're talking about sustainable development. That has been going on since the Rio Summit many decades ago. We have established various bodies, agencies to look at this, but still nothing happened. Sustainable development is a mantra of everybody, I suppose. But to do that, we have to reform, do different things differently. But I don't think we are at that point. We are still on the page of sloganing, saying this is good, this is right, but then nothing really tangible has been done. So I mean, as a practitioner, I was a practitioner, I felt a bit despondent about the whole thing. And that's why I never really, here in Malaysia, talk Madani. I said, what Madani is that? It's just another political mantra, political sloganing. It doesn't do much anything to me, to you all. What does it do? What are the results? Nothing much. So I think we should put aside all these things and go for tangible things that's doable and have meaning for everybody here, for everyone around the world. I'm also supposed to touch about Malaysia's role. I think we are a small country. Some people think we are middle income, yes, but we're small. So we contribute wherever we can, within our means. PKO, for example, peacekeeping operation is within our means, so we do that. We get compensation from the UN, but then not much, isn't it? We have to pay, we have to finance more in terms of wherewithal and our presence in many parts of the world. On economic front, of course, we are championing, or we work together with other developing countries and also from South Cooperation. We have our green levels such as MTCP. This concept of helping other developing countries, bringing them there to learn from us, or to go over there to teach them. That is good, and I think that is meaningful. Instead of just talking, doing is more important. As a small player, in that regard, I think we have been quite active, despite the limited resources that we have to spend. The other issue is that here we go to the Palestinian issue. I think our ambassador from Palestine asked me, what is the main important thing for me? Yeah, it is Gaza, it is Palestine. This has been very close to our heart, and we have been championing the cause of the Palestinians to have their own sovereign right respected, to have their own country within their own boundaries. But this has not been done, and it's all because intransigent by the big powers, in particular the United States and Britain and France and so on and so forth. The three P5, or P5. They are, I don't know why they're so obligated, and they refuse to accept the fact that rights are sacrosanct, just as human rights are sacrosanct. Why are they supporting, why are they doing this to these people? After all, the land belongs to the Palestinians. They have been there for generations, thousands of years. You cannot displace them, you cannot push them out. They will rather die fighting, but one day they will realize. I always mentioned our colleague, I think that once I was still in New York, and said, what is right, and what you're fighting for is right, and you will realize you will have one day your own country, and live peacefully within your own boundary, and respect it. We are almost there. I think the GA has passed a resolution asking for Pakistan to be a member of the United Nations, but it's in the back burner because the P5 refused to accept it, right? They deny the rights of these people since 1940. And they still punish, kill, just because they're Palestinians who are fighting for their own safe home. So we do our bit here. We contribute to the resources. We contribute to our support for them in the international community. But we feel this is right. This is the way forward. Because you cannot one day say human rights to everybody and that not for the Palestinians. You can't do that. There's no if or buts about it, because human rights is human rights. You have to respect all human beings. Respect everybody. Okay, I think I don't want to take more of time. I was told I would give 15 minutes. I hope it's within the 15 minutes. I just, in conclusion, just wish that one day Malaysia will become a part of the international community on civil and political rights, and also on the international community, economic, social, and cultural rights. These are basic tenets. If you are a member of the UN, please cooperate, subscribe to them, and then do your homework to clean up the mess here in the country. The other thing is that we need to look at ICC, International Criminal Court. People here are scared, but why should they be scared? It's all political. Because the real issue simply is, if your leader commits a crime, and the onus is on you to punish that leader. It's not for the ICC. It's only when you fail to do that, ICC can do it. So for heaven's sake, I think eventually it should be a member of the ICC, because there's nothing to hide. I'm not going to. I can't imagine one day that how I go and commit a crime and then be dragged to the Hague to face the criminal. No, it doesn't come to that. So it's all being politicized. The only issue of politicization is perplexing, because to me what is correct should be accepted as correct, not to be overcome, to be pushed aside by political experience. So thank you very much, but I don't touch anything, but we are involved in aesthetic before, which I think is a started. Now that I can see it, I'm not even what I How can you say Antarctica is a global common and that it is a mankind when you are not a party to the treaty? So the Antarctica treaty people say, okay, you can be part of it, us acceding to the treaty. Then you can do whatever you want. You can do experiments, you can send your people, and so on and so forth. And you can protect the environment if you want. So, as I said, political expediency is the name of the game. You can say, oh yeah, it's nice to have a global common as heritage and environment. Then you have the sea, UNCLOS, for example. Some of the countries refuse to accept UNCLOS because they think you're taking the potential resources of the sea to divide among yourself and at our expense. But it is not true. It's for everybody. The high seas are common, but we should be respected as such. Anyway, I shouldn't go anymore because I think I've taken the 15 minutes or so. Putra, thank you very much. Santa, Putra, Santa, who somehow suggested that I should do this for Unam. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I wish everybody had interesting learning experience. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, His Excellency Tan Sri Hamidon Ali, for that comprehensive overview of the United Nations history and the significant role Malaysia has played. Today, we are given an opportunity to hear from the backbone of the Malaysian Peacekeeping Center and Dr. Azman bin Haji Yahya, Commandant of Malaysia Peacekeeping Center, to the floor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all. Yang berbahagia Datuk Sri, Tan Sri, Sir, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to express gratitude, and I would like to say congratulations to Unam, United Nations Association of Malaysia, and congratulations with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Malaysia for organizing this very interesting event, celebrate United Nations Day today. So I'm from Malaysia Peacekeeping Center. I'm very honored to be in front of you, standing in front of you, and of course my lecturer also here, Professor Roy. And I was told some of you, majority of you are students, university students, and some of you came all the way from Al-Star, Al-Bukhari University. So which is Al-Bukhari, very close to me. I'm stay nearby Al-Bukhari University and Al-Star. So welcome. And the majority of you are also a student from UM, and graduated from UIA, and also UKM. So I'm glad and very honored to be here today. So the topic given to me, a peacekeeping operation. 50 minutes, in the next 50 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 50 minutes, I will touch about peacekeeping operation. On behalf also of Malaysian Armed Forces, thank you to inviting me from Malaysia Peacekeeping Quarter to share our experience, our knowledge about peacekeeping operation and Malaysia involved in peacekeeping operation. So before we start, just to highlight to you the quote of the day. So I took from the second Secretary General, Mr. Doug Hammarskjöld. So he said the United Nations was not created to take mankind into paradise, but rather to save humanity from hell. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, my aim of my presentation today is to give an overview about the UN peacekeeping operation and Malaysian Armed Forces involvement in UN PKO. Scope of presentation is short. So I touch about deployment, past and current, and then Malaysia involvement in PKO. And of course, I will a little bit share about my experience. I was in Bosnia and also in Liberia as a military observer. So share experience what we do in the PKO in Bosnia and Liberia, and lastly what are the challenges. So as an introduction, what is the peacekeeping all about? Basically, the deployment, peacekeeping is basically deployment personnel, military, police, civilian NGO, and to the conflict area, and recognized as an effective tool for helping country transition from conflict to peace. And of course, in conducting a peacekeeping operation, based on a mandate given by the United Nations Security Council resolution. And the mandate given is a different vary based on the conflict area. And just to remind that when we conduct peacekeeping operation, there are three important core principles here, which is first principle is consent of the party, where the peacekeeping or contingent before they deploy and operate must be approval from the host nation and conflicting parties. This means the consent of the party. And the core principle, the second one is impartiality. It means a natural stand in conflict to build trust among parties. And we have to follow the third one is the non-use of force, except only in self-defense and to protect the mandate. So this is the core principle that peacekeepers have to follow. And right now, so ladies and gentlemen, there are 11 peacekeeping operations active across the 3 continents. So we will go further about what is the 11 peacekeeping right now operating globally. So now we move on the United Nations peacekeeping organizing. So today, multi-dimensional peacekeeping not only called upon for the promote peace and security. So we also, the peacekeeping also responsible to monitoring ceasefire peace agreement in a conflict area. And also we are responsible to protection of civilian. I can say that more than 90% of the UN mandate today protection of civilian. We can see now in conflict right now, because the civilian become victims and also target. Civilian, that means the person not involved in the conflict, especially we have to protect child, women, become victim or target. And also we are facilitating political processes, disarmament, demolition and reintegration, supporting election in some conflict areas. Of course, as a PKO, promoting human rights and rebuilding law, rule of law. So now we move on to what is the past deployment of United Nations peacekeeping operation. So since establishment of United Nations in 1949, there are over 60 United Nations peacekeeping operations, as stated in front of you. 26 missions in Africa, 10 missions in America, 9 missions in Asia and Pacific, 8 missions in Europe, and 7 missions in Middle East. Now, what is the current deployment of UNPKO? So the current deployment, as I mentioned earlier, 11 right now. And the first, we go one by one, and one of them is the Western Sahara, which in Sahara we have a staff officer in the Western Sahara PKO, and then we also in the United Nations MONUSCO in the Central African Republic, and Congo MONUSCO. Congo is one of our places whereby we have a staff there and also observer in MONUSCO. And then in Kosovo, United Nations PKO in Kosovo, and Cyprus, Abe, also we have a staff in Abe, and South Sudan. Next in India-Pakistan border, and also UNDOF is in Golan Heights, United Nations disengagement of the force in Golan Heights. UNIFIL is our current deployment now. We have a contingent also staff there in the Lebanon right now. And lastly, UN Nation Translation Organization in Middle East. These are current deployment of our peacekeeping operation. So proceed on the what is the Malaysia what are our contribution toward peacekeeping operation. So Malaysia also involvement in peacekeeping operation. So since our independence, 1957, our commitment to the world peace start 1960 until present. We have contributed more than 39,000 personnel, including contingent personnel, and in a total of 38 missions around the globe. And whereby the current deployment is, you can see in the box in red color. So this is our current deployment in deployment since 1960 until present. So 39 contribution personnel and at a 38 mission around the globe. So the donation also then current Malaysian Armed Forces involvement in PKO as a military observer and also troop contributing country. So right now we have in the UNIFIL 1 contingent, and also we have 8 mission staff currently in Lebanon, 850 contingent deployment, and now they are still in Maracah in southern Lebanon. And also we have Yemen, 1 military observer from Yemen, in Yemen, and also in Sudan. We have 1 military observer in Sudan and 1 mission staff in Sudan. Other than that, in Western Sahara, we have 9 military observers in Western Sahara and Congo. We have 3 military observers and 5 mission staff. And altogether, right now we have 882 personnel in the military personnel consisting of Army, Air Force, and Navy, around in the 5 active mission areas. So I want also to highlight here the first Malaysian apostle in deployment in United Nations. So as I mentioned here, we start commitment. We want to show to the world that our commitment to the world peace while deploying our UN operation in Congo, Unam. So Unam was established in July 1960 to ensure the withdrawal of Belgian forces and to assist the government to maintain law and order, and also to provide technical assistance. And Malaysia, at that time Malaya, was invited to send a contingent to serve in Congo. And on 4th August 1960, the Prime Minister, our former Prime Minister, Tunku Abdul Rahman, responded to United Nations Secretary General that he was agreed to send a troop to Congo. And the name given for the force in Malaysia is the Malaysia Special Force. The Malaysia Special Force is from 4th Battalion Royal Malay Regiment and 6th Squadron from recognized regiment. It's a complement of the total strength at that time, 42 officers and 571 other rank. The commander at the time, Lieutenant Colonel Nazarudin, commanding officer of Royal Malay Regiment. This I want to highlight here and want to inform you this is our first commitment to the world that we want to contribute to the world peace and security. And then just also to highlight here about the current deployment. So this is our current deployment in Lebanon, UNIFIL, and as we know, the UNIFIL mission established by United Nations in 19 March 1978, followed by this UN Security Council Resolution 426. The resolution aimed to ensure Israel withdrawal from Lebanon, restore international peace and security, and help the Lebanese government to actively restore its power in the country. These are mandate given by the UNSR to Malaysia contingent to the UNIFIL in carry out our mandate. So we start sending our contingent in 2007, whereby Malaysia Armed Forces sent a first contingent to the South Kaukaba in Lebanon. Then after that, we call Malpon East 1 was a position in East sector. But again, Malaysia was given additional responsibility to sending another contingent to fill the vacancy left by the Qatar Armed Forces at Tiri West sector. And since October 2013, Malaysia Armed Forces contingent in UNIFIL have been recognized by Malbat 850 because the composition strength is 850, and 850 is including 30 personnel attachment from Brunei troop. So they stay together with the Malaysia contingent and Maracah camp and to carry out the mandate. So right now we currently location the deployment is at the Maracah camp, South Lebanon, and Harris camp, and also the Tidni camp. And the right now the contingent unit field Mabat is 85011. They will the duty will be, the rotation will be carried out next month. We will conduct our enrollment as usual, despite the situation now in Lebanon. But as far as our concern, our the Malbat battalion will carry out the duty as per normal. We follow instruction from UN headquarters, and the next month will be rotation 85012. Malbat 85012 will be ready and depart very soon next month, inshallah, to replace the Malbat 85011. So we pray that everything will go as per plan and they will protect a smooth plan. So not to forget, also Malaysia Armed Forces also commit to deploy our women in peacekeeping operation since 2003 until present. This is one of the requirements by United Nations, whereby to show our gender equality. So the deployment of women in peacekeeping operation is very important. As stated by Antonio Guterres, is our current Secretary General now. Though he said we roll out the uniform gender parity strategy, which among other things target by 2028 a range of 15 to 35% of women representation, including military, police, and justice and correction personnel. So Malaysia Armed Forces target right now we have 11.6 ladies and currently serving United Nations mission, and we targeted to reach 50% by 2028. So currently officer, women officer, we have 120, other rank 471 personnel, and total 594 personnel, women peacekeeping in especially in Lebanon, and the rest in the as observer and the staff officer. The requirement to deploy the women because the women peacekeeping improve overall peacekeeping performance. So also by deploying the women and the greater access to the community, because there's some complicated, they need a woman to get information during the daily activity. So to get to engage the women and society, so we're sending our women soldiers, women peacekeeping, to get more detail about the information. And also by deploying women, we help in promoting human rights and the protection of civilians, and encourage women to become a meaningful part of peace and political process. So then last part is just want to share my experience in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So as mentioned, I was experienced in Bosnia and under stabilization force, and there were time United Nations was asked not to lead the peacekeeping for the promote security and peace and security in Bosnia. So the stabilization force operated under Chapter 7 of the Nation, deriving the authority from UN Security Council Resolution 108 of 12 December 1996. The mandate given to the Macron at the time, a stabilization force, to deter hostilities and stabilize the peace, contribute to a safe and secure environment conducive to civil and political reconstruction. And deployment, emergency deployment at the time, I was in Lebanon. So I was in Lebanon at the battalion headquarters at the time, and our friend was from Lebanon. So thank you very much. And also experienced stay in Kupres, Galamos, and Lipa. So these are our base during deployment Lebanon. I was Lebanon in 1998 for 1 year. So they make sure that our Lebanon on east, west of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So what we basically in Bosnia, so we conduct a patrol every day. The task given to Malaysian forces, and at that time I was just a platoon commander of troop leader at the time. So every day we conduct a patrol, and one of our challenges is the weather here. So you can see the winter time we have a little bit, we have to adjust ourselves to conduct patrol, and also we also support the community operation every day and monitor every reporting. So this is the road we conduct everyday patrol and monitor the activity in Bosnia, and also we human rights protection, and also we establish our OP. So we have to select the hotspot area and conduct the OP and observation point. And during the duty and when we conduct patrol and checkpoint, there will be also translator. You can see beside me a beautiful translator, so make more easier to conduct the operation. And despite our tired, but everything will be okay with a good translator. So this one can more most our moral is away from family for 1 year. Of course, we need a good environment and conducive environment. And also the civic activity. So normally in the civic activity is one of important activity in Bosnia. You can see we also collaborate with the National Police at the time, and we did it. And normally in civic activity we provide humanitarian assistance, we provide the to the village, to the certain area, assist on education, agriculture, and promote assistance to the society, local society. This is what I did in Bosnia. It's very good, and I'm very proud because I'm one of the Malaysian to assist Malaysia to promote peace and security in Bosnia, and I wish to go back to Bosnia to look what is Ligno Kupres look like. So now we move on to the Liberia. So I have one other opportunity to go to Liberia as a military observer. So in Bosnia, I mean as a contingent, we go on as a contingent like a Lebanon, like right now. But in Liberia, I was tasked to be as a military observer. And the mandate given to the military observer at the time should be protection of civilians, and reform of justice and security institution, human rights promotion and protection, public information protection of United Nations personnel. So I was stationed in 2 team sites, Greenville, as shown in the slide, and also another team site in the Tamamba, North Liberia. So as you know, the Liberia one of the conflict area, but now and already success. To obviously 2018 1 year. So these are just go through the how we conduct the activity in Liberia, and they conduct the patrol. So this is how we conduct the patrol. Land patrol, air patrol is the condition. We conduct the patrol. Very difficult to in the situation during the rainy season. This is the challenge we have to face. And then so we go to the monitoring fire. So during the patrol, we monitor the situation. And then we also at the same time we need to R&R also and CTO going for leave. See how we're going to spend our time with the team members on team side to bonding time. But Liberia actually a very beautiful country too, with a nice beach and good view. And then engage with the local community. So this is basically part of my duty during the military observer in Liberia. And then reporting. So when we come back from patrol, we have send a report to our headquarters. So report what the progress and what the future plan for the military observer. And lastly, get information of course this our daily activity. Go to the local community, get information what the perspective toward the United Nations. Either they can accept the United Nations personnel, or we can how the perception to the nation. Basically, getting information and we send to the United Nations headquarters. So then, or lastly, in the challenges, of course, now as the peacekeepers, exposed to conflict, it's very tough job right now for the peacekeepers, because intra-state, it's an internal conflict, civil war. We have to make sure the conflict is at the same time we want to carry out the mandate. And also high risk and threat need to respond to changing scenario. As now at the level, for example, our troops have to respond to the changing scenario every day, and we have to ready at any time. And of course, fundamental principle, concept of parties, impartiality and use of force. But sometimes these are the most important to defend ourselves and also to carry out the mandate. To end current advancement of technology by using the drone, cyber technology, also part of our challenges. So as a peacekeeper, we monitor, become a vulnerable target, also sometimes become victim among the rebel because with the advanced technology and of current threat and global dispute. So as a conclusion, peacekeeping approaches stay relevant in maintaining peace and security in the conflict area and around the globe. And Malaysia Armed Forces is committed to train and produce competent future peacekeepers local and international through Malaysia Peacekeeping Center. And the deployment of Malaysia Armed Forces in Malaysia Defense, inline the Malaysia Defense white paper by supporting world peace effort through United Nations peacekeeping operation. With that, sir, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last word. Peacekeeping is not a job for soldier, but only soldier can do it. So I think this was my leadership last year. So thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Colonel Nur Azman, for the valuable knowledge shared and shedding light on the crucial contributions of peacekeeping forces around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take a 5-minute short break. Please make yourself comfortable and we will resume shortly.
Okay, cool.